Growing up a girl. The emotional, sexual, and psychological stereotyping of females begins when the doctor says, "It's a girl." Shirley Chisholm. Girls throughout America deal with sexism daily, even as they grow up. I myself have dealt with this throughout my entire childhood, and women that you know in your life has also dealt with this. Your mothers, grandmas, aunts, sisters, friends. Everyone around you has probably dealt with some type of sexism in their life. Now, I'll share a little bit about how sexism has affected me. When I was a kid, I remember always hearing firemen, policemen, fishermen, male men. And me, as a kid, wanting to be a fireman, and when I heard this, I was like, men, wow. It doesn't really include the woman. And I'm pretty sure we all know in here that women do the job just as well, or maybe even better than men. But it's not fair to call the entire as a whole men. And not only when I was a kid, but while I grow up, and still today I deal with this. In 2nd grade, I was told I can't play basketball at recess because I'm a girl. Then again in middle school, when I was on track and field, when I would run races against the guys, I was supposed to be slower, and if I lost a race, their reasoning was, "You're a girl, you run slower." And still today I get these comments, daily, and they put me down, and all I do is nod my head and turn away. I don't say anything, because I grew up with it. It's what I'm used to. And I know women across America deal with this daily too. Mira and David Sacker in the Phi Delta Kaplan said that in the classroom curriculum, kids, their books and what you learn is very gender biased, meaning when you grow up in your classrooms, you get gender biasm from what you learn. And when you learn something, that's what you do when you're older, meaning this gender biasm, you still continue when you're older. And that kind of puts kids down to be who they want to be. They can't wear dresses if you're a boy because you're expected that's a girl's thing. They can't like the color blue because you're a girl and that's a boy's color. And still today, when they're older, they still have that they expect that too. Paquette in 2016 said that 63% of women deal with gender biasm still today. They deal with discrimination, and I don't just want you to think about that number, I want you to look at it. 63. That means that over half of the women in this room deal with gender discrimination daily, meaning over half of the women in your life deal with gender discrimination daily. That's a big number, 63%. Now you're probably thinking, what can I do now? What am I supposed to do? How can I help? Well, I think let's start with the new kids, the children, the new generation, because they're going to grow up and change the world. Let's not expect little kids to do something just because of their gender. They're allowed to do anything that they want to do. Anything. They can like whatever color they want. They can wear whatever they want. They can do any sport that they want to do. And maybe you don't have any kids in your life you can help or change, so you can talk to the adults. Talk to adults, and if you see an adult saying something that's maybe a little gender biased, maybe check them. Be like, hey, what if a guy wants to wear a dress? Because that's okay. Now, I've talked to you about my personal experience, and I've talked to you about the women in your lives that probably have dealt with this too. And I've also given you tips on how maybe you can help. And I just want to say one thing. No matter your gender, you can do anything. All that you have to do is believe in yourself and who you are.